Well, I'm finding lightweight rain gear for the morning because we have got some Oregon coastal rain. And as Dave Brinker would say, what's a little Roosevelt hunting without some rain? So we're going to find out. Find out just how brushy it is where we're going. I'm assured that there's no brush where we're hunting. There's big Roosevelts, no brush, and no rain. But it's raining today, so hopefully the other two hold true. Got a good night's sleep finally, and we're ready to tackle Roosevelt elk day 2 in Oregon. It's an answer. Right down where we just were. Just that high note. Dave Broff gave him a couple cow calls. Sounds like he's closer than he was. Up just a little. He's still there. He's moved off a little bit, and he's definitely cooled off a little, so we're going to move in. I think he's just timid to come out in this open with the fog. He's staying back in the timber. We have good wind, so we're just going to slip in, get in the timber with him, and see if we can make it happen there. Donnie and I use 3 cow calls. That means, come, let's regroup and head in. So he's just inside the timber there a little bit. I think he's timid to come out, so if we get down on the edge of the timber here, move along, he might be a little bit more. But if you just stay like 30, once we get to timber, if you're just 30 yards behind us or so. Pulling up still pretty good. Be trying giving him more chuckles. That seems to be all he's doing. I don't know what they're saying.
slipping in, and then a truck just drove by on a closed road.
There's something right here in front of that brush.
He was raking just out here in the open, like we were moving in, and then the truck drove by and he turned and walked off. And he was 75 yards of raking. I was just trying to get right up here another 10 or 12 yards. When he was done raking, he'd have walked right over. Man,
Where's the other hunter at?
just right over the top of that knob. It may have been the guy in the truck. But that bull was raking on the skyline when we were caught back on the hillside there. Then he went over and we crossed, and we were set perfect right there on the point. If he'd have come down anywhere, we'd had a shot. And then that guy came in from behind him and he just turned and walked into the timber. But then he came out and I thought he was coming in, he was coming towards us, and he turned around and back and started raking. So we made it probably 30 yards while he was raking. Well, after the bull getting busted by another hunter and then coming back and giving us a second chance, I was holding out hope that when the truck drove by, the bull would give us a third chance, but I think we're done here. So close. We just had 15 more yards, and I could have shot him while he was raking if he didn't come in any closer. Bad timing. Donnie said it looked like an official timber company truck or something that drove by. Which may have been, they may have stopped on the other side of the knob and heard the bull bugling and got out and chased it. They could have been the hunters that were bugling up there, but either way, too much activity of the wrong kind for the bull. He's been quiet now for 20 minutes. So close. We'll go find another one. Well, we left the clear cut down below. Climbed up to the top of the mountain. We're up on a big ridge now. Incredible looking in here. Just almost prehistoric. Huge old growth stumps. Everything covered in moss. Be a great place to bed because everything out there, it's raining pretty hard in here. It's got a good enough canopy that not really getting any rain. And it's a lot quieter in here. You're getting some of the brushier stuff, and it's just the water dripping off the leaves. It makes it so noisy. So I'm trying to slip along this ridge, do some calling, and then pop out another clear cut on the other side and try it over there. But if I was an elk, this is where I'd be right now. Cruising old logging roads. Got a pretty big clear cut here, which seems to be where we found elk the last couple days, so we were hoping that would hold true with this one, but no answers yet. lanes, and then when we busted out in the shooting lanes, he was waiting on the other side of it watching us. Pretty sure he got our wind that last time. Head off the ridge here.
Well, that was as good of a day of elk hunting Roosevelt elk as we've ever had.
Yes, and as wet as we've ever had as well.
The good news is we were out in the open instead of in the brush for most of the day, so
Yes.
which is where we were finding the elk coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally. But
Yeah, I think we stayed more dry in the timber than we did out in those clear cuts,
Yeah.
because every one of those leaves held a quarter cup of water on them.
yeah, it rained all day. It was nasty.
We were into elk right first thing in the morning.
From the get-go. Yeah.
Got dark, chasing elk again, so.
Yep. Did you see my new bow?
Yeah.
The new Prime Black. And unfortunately I didn't get to put it into action yet, but we're just yesterday and today in Oregon, we've had more action than we had all last season.
Yeah.
And I'm confident something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, it almost happened today, right off that bull in the clear cut, the first one there. So we're back in gated roads. There's no motorized access. And we have a bull 70 yards from us raking a tree. I'm moving in on it. I mean, if I can get 15 yards, he's raking a tree across from me out in the open.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot.
Not paying any attention whatsoever.
It's quiet. I'm in the dark timber. He's in the open. This is perfect situation to move in on him. And all of a sudden, truck comes around the corner and drives within 100 yards of the bull, and the bull goes into the timber and won't bugle again.
Yep.
So, a little frustrating. Then we found out that there are like water gates, or there's something back in there that
Somebody manages the
water. And they have permission to drive on these roads, and we just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So,
Yeah.
and then the second one, that second one was as close to a legitimate call-in
Yep.
that just about happened as we've had. Donnie was back behind me. That bull he must have had 20 or 25 cows.
Yes.
And I think he was just a younger bull, and when he committed, he came and was on that ridge, and I thought, here he comes. It's gonna happen.
I think
And
I still have scars on my fingers from
raking.
from raking.
Donnie was going crazy on the tree raking, but you saw the bull also started raking that tree. He came, and then I think he just got smart for a
I think
minute.
all of his cows left, so
Yeah.
I think he was playing catch up to them.
Yep, turned around, and we couldn't convince him to come back. And then, of course, once we get in the timber with them, they play their Roosevelt elk
Yes.
cat and mouse game, and they ended up, he dropped down, dropped. We had good wind, and it got quiet, and we dropped down a little too far, and he had circled back around and got the wind good, and
He knew
Game
where
over.
he was going.
game over.
Yep.
So, you didn't give us a dad joke today.
I didn't.
No. Of course, after the last two,
Or we were too busy chasing elk, I guess.
yeah. Or maybe you ran out of bad ones. You have a good one?
Oh. So a pun walks into a bar. 10 people immediately die. Pun intended.
It's better than the last two. I got to give you that. Pun in 10 dead.
Yep.
Pun intended.
You don't have to explain dad jokes. If you get them, you get them.
It took a little bit though. There were people, you didn't get it. Pun intended. We also didn't do a strategy for success.
No.
So I think for today's strategy for success, the thing that I saw that is way different than what we're used to with Rocky Mountain elk is when it's raining hard like that, typically Rocky Mountain elk are going to go into the timber and bed down. They're going to brush up and they aren't going to move. In Oregon, elk were all out in the middle of the clearcuts. And I think the main reason we saw was when you get in that timber and that brush, when it rains like that, there's so much foliage that it's just, you can't, it's like walking across, I don't know what, a field of tinfoil or something. It's just super noisy in there. And I think those elk can't hear to detect danger. They just, it's continual audio overload for them. And so they go out in the clearcuts. And out in the clearcuts, it's not noisy, it's just really wet. But I think whether you're in the brush or in the clearcuts, you're getting wet. At least we were.
Yes, when it's dropping off those trees from above, they're bigger drops than the regular rain, so it makes a loud noise with every raindrop.
So I think that's our plan. You know, if it continues raining, is focus on clearcuts, find clearcuts, because if it's raining, what we noticed today, those elk are out in the clearcuts all day. The second bull, it was middle of the day, noon, something, when we found him out in the clearcut with all the cows. And I don't know if the cows maybe saw us, and that's why they got nervous and went into the timber. But even when they went in the timber, they went into the open timber. They took us through the thick brush, because that's what Roosevelt elk do. But
we were back in the thick moss-covered trees again, and hoping to find an elk in there with the fog, but they were out in clearcuts.
It'll be another day. Giveaway. We got another Destination Elk V2 package. This one is package 2. And again, Destination Elk inspired MTN OPS Ignite in the September only Bugle Berry flavor. You can purchase them, as far as I know. They're still available right now on MTNOPS.com. They brought in 500 of them just for our video series release. So pick that up at MTNOPS.com. Somebody today is going to win this jug of it. Got the YETI Rambler 18 ounce with the Destination Elk logo. And we've got from Gerber a really cool Vital folding knife. Now what makes it really cool is it's got the Elk101 logo engraved on the blade. Probably can't see that because of the glare.
Yeah. You're not helping.
What? I know that there's a glare, so I'm just trying to make it so they can see.
Well, he just does that. John can superimpose an image there.
Yeah. You can
work magic.
Yeah, you make elk appear out of nowhere for us. John's awesome. Nick Levengood is filming for us right now in Oregon, and today was his last day filming. John's showing up tonight.
Yes.
So, John's going to be on the camera. We're going to make fun of him again.
It'll be a lot more fun because it wasn't so much fun making of Nick.
Well, it's hard to make. We just met Nick on this hunt for the first time, so it's hard to make fun of camera guys that you don't really know all that well.
Exactly.
We can make fun of John. We don't make fun of him.
It's
We just blame
expected.
everything on him. Yeah, we don't make fun of him. We just blame everything on him.
And we'll see what happens. We were with Nick and we saw all these elk. See what happens tomorrow, I guess.
That's true. That is very true. So tomorrow we're going back into an area Brinker told us about, and Brinker's hunting with his dad. He hunted with his dad today, kind of turned us loose, and same tomorrow. So he's got a good little map for us. Drew a map and put an X on it. Said there's an elk right here. So he hasn't been wrong yet. We've been into elk every time. So it's good to be camping with Brinker. He just incredibly giving person. And incredibly talented musician also. If you haven't checked out his music, look up David Brinker on anywhere you can download music. And his new song that came out this fall is Altitude. And it even talks about bugling elk.
Yes.
So, check that out. Make sure and subscribe and like to the Elk101 YouTube channel. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, that way you're getting notified, and help us grow our channel. That's what we're doing this for. Is we want to share our passion for elk hunting with you, and we'd love to have you join us on the ride as a subscriber here on YouTube. Just right down there. Right down there. Just push that little button that says subscribe. 80% of the people who are viewing our videos on YouTube are not subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber and you're viewing this, help us out. The more subscribers we can get, the more awesome stuff like this we're going to be able to do. So subscribe and make sure and leave a comment below. That's how you get entered to win. And don't forget, you can go to elk101.com/destination elk
And on that page, there's also an entry form that you can enter. And when you enter your name and email address, you're going to get an extra entry in these daily gear giveaways. So 1 entry for commenting below, 1 entry at elk101.com/destination elk. And we'll be back tomorrow. You
Sounds
shooting
good.
tomorrow?
I will be shooting tomorrow. It's my day.
It's Donnie's day. In more ways than one.
Yes.
Come back tomorrow to find out why.
Yeah.